Klein 32500 from Home Depot. It is made in Taiwan. Made in Taiwan is different from made in China. Taiwanese tools are some of the best tools that you can get at a decent price nowadays. Totally different from made in China tools. Taiwan is an evolutionary sink from the Chinese internal civil war. Sun Yat-sen, Chiang Kai-shek fled from China and Mao to create a government in Taiwan, and from 1949 to now they've developed their industries and such that with their founder effect, like higher IQ population who had the foresight to see, despite 99% of the country choosing the Communist Party, they had the foresight to flee communism and into Taiwan. High IQ population, some would say high greed, high capitalist population. Those people have built up the Taiwanese industry to be the one that basically replaces Japan in the modern world of 2023. Japan no longer manufactures hardly anything. And since NAFTA of the mid-90s, America hardly manufactures anything either. So you have to go with Taiwan for high quality tooling equipment, high quality computer components like GPU and such. Pre-1990s, we all grew up seeing Japanese and German goods as supreme, or at least since World War II, because Germany and Japan built up their industries to be supreme in that way. American industries had been supreme for 50 years or more prior to that, but since giving away American industry in 1990s, there's hardly anything that you can find that's made in America anymore. Made in Taiwan is a good substitute for that now. But anyway, that was just a brief tangent. Klein Tool 32500 is a standard, highly efficient 11-in-1 tool that I've used for a long time. Downsides to this one that I recognized immediately was that it has a proprietary holder. I don't know if you can see that within it's just a steel circle with two notches on it, corresponding to the ears on this giant bit holder. It does have a ball detent as well, so it holds in place fairly securely. It doesn't fall out. Has a good purchase on it. It has a very pleasant woody feel to the knurling on the plastic handle at the front, and the rubberized semi-electrical protective handle at the back. Where do they get the 11-in-1? Well, that's interesting. This thing is useless for anything but holding this device. But the 11-in-1 is all right in here, and you can count it. Now, this section is a nut driver of one size. This section here is a nut driver of a larger size. One doesn't fit in the other. So that's nut driver 1, nut driver 2. That's 1, 2 tools. And each of these hold bits that are reversible. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So where's the 11th? Well, as you can see, the 11th is that nut driver. Now these bits are interchangeable on all 4 ends. So you've got 4 of this size nut driver on this device. So as you can see, this only fits one way. So that's the 11. That's the 11 tools that fit like so. A very beautiful tool. Highly recommend it for anyone. So this is a standard tool found in many electricians and many handymen. The differences. This is the new one, 32500 HD. I think that HD stands for Home Depot model, because I can only find this at Home Depot. The handles are roughly the same size. The inscription is now sunk in rather than risen. The knurling at the rubber is much less aggressive. The knurling at the plastic is very similar. So the other differences, like we saw, this thing is just a proprietary holder for that. Now the benefit of the new one. Pull the whole thing out like so. This could potentially serve as a hex driver, a big hex driver. Although you wouldn't want to do that because you don't want to damage the holder. But I believe that's tool 1 actually. So where does the other 10 tool pieces come from? Well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe it's interchangeable. Almost. This is magnetic. 6, 7, 8. A detent holder. Detent holder, same. Smaller, so that's 9. Nut holder, nut driver. 10. There's the 11th. I mean, there could be 12 here, but they didn't count the magnetic holder as a tool separately. But that's a reversible ball detent grip, just like in the old system. As you can see, one is bigger than the other. Ball detent held driver. So the ball detent held drivers are good for holding my Chapman bits. So these are ball detent. That's like just like these Chapman bits. So when you're wanting to use Chapman bits, this is a good holder, a superior holder than Chapman's own. So very good. But now, what if you wanted a longer reach? Let's say you're working on a deep inside the well of a computer case, for instance. Now you want to use one of these long bits, and they come longer. Problem is, the ball detent holder, it falls out. So it falls out. It's no good. Now you have two options on this new driver. Remember, on this side, this thing was magnetized. See that? No, actually, it was on the other end. Weirdly, they just offer that magnetic end on just one end. So this is the ball detent side to this reversible. But as you can see, this one marked with that bit without the ball detent, but held in magnetically, can hold this without it falling out. See that? Long reach, very long reach. So if you didn't need that quite that long a reach on it, look, you can just pull this whole thing out, ball detent end, right? Ball detent end to the Klein bit, ball detent end, non-proprietary, hold secure. Now you got your standard length screwdriver right here. Working inside the cars and computers, things like that. Just beautifully balanced too. So ball, what do they call this type of bit end? I don't know, but that figured holder comes in here. The ball detent holders are at this end, right? But you also have the magnetic holder. You got the ball detent holder, and you got the shaped detent holders. So it can hold 3 different styles of bits. This new improved Klein 32500 HD model. Of course, the market, what they feel the most important point of this was that it holds impacted bits. So impact drivers can use these bits as well. They can, and it's non-proprietary, so you can just stick it in an impact power driver and use this, just as this. So another dimension to that severely useful upgrade. So 32500 HD Klein Tool. Klein Tools, American company, going back to the mid-1850s. German immigrants, Matthias Klein, founded this company. Still headquartered in Illinois, Midwest, upper Midwest. but essentially a transplanted German tool company, right? Outstanding tools. So the one thing to know is that even though it was outsourced, many of these high quality tools were outsourced to Taiwan. Be not afraid, because Taiwanese manufacturing is not Chinese manufacturing. It is far superior. Basically, Taiwan is like the new Japan as far as tooling goes. Old and new tools.